Hello everyone, welcome back to SFTC Mix. In our last video, we have seen the theoretical aspect of Salesforce, like what is Salesforce, why people utilizes the Salesforce, and some of the Salesforce market share. Everything we have seen all about the theoretical aspects. So in this video, we are going to see some of the business perspective about the Salesforce. Because when we hear about the Salesforce, we often think Salesforce in the technical perspective. Like we know Salesforce got Salesforce admin, Salesforce developer, and few other technical roles, and they use Salesforce to deliver the functionalities which business has requested. But are they the actual end users? No. So Salesforce got its actual end users are from the business. So that further contains like the sales reps, marketing team, lot of other roles would be there which all comes under the business team. So in this specific video, we're going to see the Salesforce in the business perspective, like how exactly they will utilize the Salesforce and what are their daily activities and how they use the Salesforce to make a revenue out of it. So without any delay, let's get started.
Let's quickly understand how Salesforce is used by the business. Every company that wants to grow depends on three key teams: marketing, sales, and customer support. Now imagine a software company selling a product. First thing, people need to know that the product exists in the market, and that's the job of the marketing team. Marketing team runs advertisement, email campaigns, webinars, and social media promotions. When someone shows interest and shares their details, they become a lead, or we can say a potential customer. So, here lead is a Salesforce terminology. We'll talk about that later. So, once we get the potential customer details, the marketing team then passes the potential customer data to the sales team. Sales representatives from the sales team contact these potential customers, understand their needs, give product demos, discuss pricing, and try to close the deal. When the deal is in progress, it's tracked as an opportunity. Again, the opportunity is a Salesforce terminology, but you can consider it as a contract. Once the deal is closed, the company gains a customer. But the journey doesn't stop there. After purchase, customer may need help. They might face issues or having a questions. That's where the service team comes into the picture. Service team handles customer issues, resolves support tickets, and makes sure customers are satisfied. Now imagine all this data spread across emails, spreadsheets, and different tools. That creates a confusion and poor customer experience. Business need one centralized system. That system is called a CRM. And the world's most popular CRM is Salesforce, that we know. So Salesforce connects marketing, sales, and service on one single platform. Everyone works on the same customer data in a real time. That's why Salesforce is not just a CRM, it's a complete platform for the customer success. Now we understand the general overview about the business workflow. Now let's look into how does the Salesforce business workflow would look like. In this particular screen, I have placed the multiple different business workflow including the Salesforce and its external system integration. I could place all these in a different slide, but the only reason I have placed all these in a single frame is because if in case you get confused with any of the previous flow explained, you can compare it side by side and that would be easier for you to understand. So with that note, let's start one by one. Starting from the leftmost corner, the one you see is a complete end-to-end business workflow including Salesforce and its external system integration. And next to that, we got a marketing team's business workflow and we have sales team's business workflow. And the one which start with Salesforce opportunity, it's actually a part of a sales team business workflow itself. And we got a Salesforce service team workflow as well. So we are going to see all of these one by one in detail. So let's start with the complete end-to-end business workflow including the Salesforce and its external system integration. So it starts with the marketing team. So marketing teams start posting the advertisement in different platform and start doing the live campaigns to get the potential customers into the business. So when they get a potential customers into the business, in Salesforce we call it as a lead. So lead is a terminology used in a Salesforce. In general, you can consider it as a potential customers. So when we get a potential customers inside Salesforce, that data will be available for access for the sales team. So sales team will access the data and start contacting them and verify whether that particular lead is eligible to do the business and get some more details. All these things would happen in the sales qualification process. So once they find that particular lead is qualified, then they will convert them to the contact, account, and opportunity that we are going to see in the sales process. But just to set a general context, contact, account, and opportunity are against the Salesforce terminology. In Salesforce, we call them as a Salesforce object. Anyway, the people who are already working in a Salesforce are very well aware of it. But since these videos are generic to the Salesforce, just to set a general context, you can consider Salesforce objects are the containers or the tables holds certain records or the number of records. Or in general, you can consider account is a company, contact is an employee within the company, and opportunity is a contract holding a deal or or the contract which helps to manage or progress the deal status. So coming back here, we have an opportunity and you can consider it as a contract which is of $100K worth, which would be having a different stage like open, in progress, in meeting, price negotiation, close won, close lost, multiple stages would be there. Let's consider after all the stages that particular contract has been closed won. So whenever it is closed won, the data will be sent to the external system. It could be a external ERP system or it can be a finance system for the finance invoicing or the payment processing. So now at this point, you may get a question that why are we sending these data to the external systems for the finance, invoicing and the payment processing? Why can't we do it within the Salesforce itself when we are doing most of the things within the Salesforce? That's a valid question. So the reason is because we got some legal policies that all the finance related things has to go via finance module. So that is one of the reasons we got the external system to process the finance invoice, the payment processing, everything. So continuing that, once the opportunity is closed won, it went to the finance invoice, payment is received, and once the payment has been received, the data will be synced back with the Salesforce. What I mean is the payment status, the payment data, and the booking data, everything will be synced back to the Salesforce so that the sales team can see the payment status and act accordingly. Once the payment is received, there will be a customer onboarding. That means that's a general or the formal email sending to the customer saying thanks for signing up the contract or buying the product, something which will be considered as a customer onboarding that will be done by the service team. Further, service team would get certain issues or the queries reported by the customers that will be handled by the service team. So that is what it says. The issue is resolved. So whenever the issue is resolved, the customer satisfaction survey would be triggered, and then at the end, the upsell opportunity is something like if the customer want to repeat their order or they want to buy a new contract or something. That is what it says called as upsell opportunity. So now, looking into the marketing team workflow, marketing team would usually post the advertisement on the multiple different social media platform. Like they can post on the LinkedIn or the Instagram or any other different platforms as well. In general, we see multiple different advertisement on these social media platforms, right? So what happens when we click on them? So it will be redirected to the certain page where it asks for the certain details, and we enter the certain details and submit it, and then after that we get a call from the sales team. The same strategy would apply here as well. So the marketing team posts the advertisement in social media platform, and customers or the potential customers click on that will be landing to the different page, and that data will be passed to the Fardot or the HubSpot. These are the marketing tools, and that marketing tools will be connected with the Salesforce so that whenever they receive the data, that data will be passed to the Salesforce in form of Salesforce lead. So that Salesforce lead will be accessible by the sales team, and that is how the customers who submitted a form will get a call from the sales team. So till here, the marketing team's job has been completed. So further, it's the sales team's responsibility to follow up with those leads and get the information and start processing further. So now, sales team got certain leads in the system, and they will contact the leads and go through the sales qualification process, and after finding the sales qualification, they'll start convert them into the contact, account and opportunity. So when the contract is created based on the stages, the multiple discussions would be happen. It could be either a meeting or the price negotiation meeting or different other meetings would happen. And after all meeting, if the customer is agreed to buy that product or agreed to sign that contract, then the sales team would make the opportunity or the contract as closed one. When it is closed one, that data will be sent to the finance team for the payment processing, and the customers will make a payment at that point. So further, just to see this particular flow in detail, the Salesforce opportunity flow, whenever the opportunity is closed one, the data would be passed to the ERP system having the finance and the booking module, or a separate finance system. It could be anything. So when it is done, when the data has been passed from the Salesforce to the ERP system, there will be booking created for the reference, because they need to be a reference for the payment to be done, right? So that is what it says, the booking ID. Booking ID is created, and that booking data will be synced with the Salesforce. Because sales team also need to see whether that payment is done, what is the booking status, everything. For that visibility, data will be synced back with the Salesforce, and the invoice is generated and the payment is received. So these invoice and the payment details all will be linked with this particular booking, so that whenever someone or the sales people access the booking data within the Salesforce, they can see the invoice attached to it and the payment details linked to it as well, along with the payment status. So till here, sales team has completed their work. And further, it's the responsibility of the service team to take care of the customer in terms of the new issues raised or the queries, anything. So for the product board or the contract they have signed, customer could be having the multiple different questions, or they can raise certain issues. So they have to report that issues to the service team. How do they do that? They can either call the support representatives, or they can also utilize some self-service portal to raise a case and report an issue. And that case will be assigned to the specific, say, support representative, and they start the investigation. And if in case that case is not getting resolved on time, that can be escalated to the certain people. So once the solution has been provided, case can be closed, and the survey will be triggered to the customer, and they can provide the survey as well. So that is the complete workflow of the Salesforce with a business. Hope all these informations provided are helpful in this video. In the next video, we are going to see the demo session of this, so that you can relate all these, and that would be more helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe so that whenever I post that video, you don't miss that. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.